Jamaica's favorite drama, Your Guilty Pleasure. Royal Palm Estate is on CVM every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m.
Start saving for your golden years with a Sagicor lifestyle-approved retirement scheme. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
With a chance. Jamaica! Draw first blood. Damari Gray scores! Kel Antonio, and it's a goal!
And the Reggae Boys take the lead.
And Jamaica puts this one on ice.
Sunrise Fitness, brought to you by You'll Play and Nature Valley.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
CVM News at 7. Jamaica rails against CXC course cuts. Minister addresses concern over constitutional change bill. And Western Jamaica set for $24.8 billion water resilience program.
Also this evening, transport operators fined over $8 million since April. In the business report, T+1 settlement cycle explained. And in sports, Reggae Girls training intensifies for Brazil match. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. I'm Stephen McHugh.
And I'm Curlin Brown. It's Wednesday, May 29, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. Data from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica and the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries published in the 2024 Tropical Farmers Almanac indicate Jamaica produced 87,235 tons of fruits in 2022.
Now the question is being asked, are our fruits being ripened naturally? Natalia Clark sought answers in this report.
Jamaica's tropical location means that the country is never short on fruits, and as the summer approaches, the quantity multiplies. Be it mangoes, watermelons, or apples. Every corner you turn this time of year, you find them being peddled on the streets, markets, and grocery stores. With that, however, there is renewed concern from some stakeholders about the use of calcium carbide, commonly known as carbide, to speed up the ripening process. This product is also known as a dip or fire. CVM News in recent weeks received several allegations about more people using the product in order to get the fruits to consumers quicker. Chief Executive Officer of the Food Hygiene Bureau of Jamaica, Dr. Marva Hewitt, says if that's the case, there's need for concern.
Basically, it has certain toxic properties. For example, it has heavy metals such as arsenic, and it also have phosphorus compound.
Calcium carbide, or CaC2, in its pure form at room temperature, looks like a solid rock, but can also be powdery or even liquidy. Several countries, including the United States and those in the United Kingdom, have banned the use of the chemical compound on food. Dr. Hewitt says the compound can cause several health complications.
And they have akin it to gastritis, ulcers of the stomach, and also cancer.
Meanwhile, vendors in the Coronation Market in Kingston admit they are aware of the chemical and what it is used for.
Yeah, one name dip. Yeah man, anything you dip in that, it ripe. Can't buy now, go on in nothing no. Dip.
On the contrary, one street vendor, who also did not wish to appear on camera, said it's just the way things are.
First of all, a man now go sit down and wait for the full 9 months or 6 months for the crop come in. A man have to do what I'm offered.
Which begs the question, how severely can it harm humans? We delve a little deeper on that in tomorrow's follow-up with a senior advisor and chemical expert from the Food Hygiene Bureau of Jamaica. Natalia Clark, CVM News.
Parliament on Tuesday passed a bill to remove references to a foreign monarch for the Constitution. However, the opposition has challenged the bill's timing, questioning if it should have been part of the legislation required for the transition to republic status. Our reporter Ramon Gordon spoke with the Minister of Constitutional Affairs for this follow-up.
Minister of Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahu Fort has moved to allay concerns over the timing of a bill to change the words of enactment in Jamaica's constitution. Yesterday in Parliament, the House passed an amendment which replaces references to the Queen with the Parliament of Jamaica. Despite a majority assent, the opposition maintained a reservation over the timing of the change.
For this bill to become law, the Governor General's assent is required under Section 60, and he will be giving that assent for and on behalf of Her Majesty. So you have this somewhat perplexing situation where the assenting to this bill is being done by the GG, the Governor General, for and on behalf of Her Majesty, or His Majesty now.
However, speaking with the CVM News following a post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday, Minister Fort explained the government's intent is simple.
So the bill for the Act to amend Section 61 of the Constitution of Jamaica to provide for new words of enactment constitute the first legislative step. And the reason for doing this is to have the bill for the establishment of the Republic of Jamaica and the abolition of the monarchy have the new words of enactment signifying the authority of the Parliament and the people of Jamaica to pass laws for peace, order, and good government. I am so excited.
According to the minister, the bill aims to make all laws for establishing the Republic of Jamaica exclude any references to a foreign ruler.
What we have done and what we are in the process of completing is to have every act of parliament commencing with the words, where appropriate, be it enacted by the Parliament of Jamaica by and with the advice and consent of the Senate and the House of Representatives. And for the matter that will have to have the approval of the people, the words will be by the Parliament and people of Jamaica by and with the advice and consent of the Senate and the House of Representatives.
The recommendation for the new words of enactment were made over 3 decades ago in the then Constitution Commission's 1993 report, but the opposition maintains the move now may be ill-advised. Despite that, at least one government member says full speed ahead.
These are considerations that every single son and daughter of a people formerly enslaved should rejoice. True self-determination means that you can have as your head of state your own people.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
The Jamaican Education Ministry and other regional partners are pushing back on a controversial decision by the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, to cut some courses. Education Minister Fayval Williams announced that the issue will be brought before CARICOM, but not before a meeting with the CXC in June. Ramon Gordon brings you the latest.
Jamaica's Education Ministry and regional partners are challenging a recent decision by the Caribbean Examinations Council to discontinue a slate of science and technology courses at the CSEC level. Now, the regional body is being accused of making that decision unilaterally without due consultations with stakeholders.
At a post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday, Education Minister Fayval Williams said they're taking the matter to CARICOM.
Other colleague education ministers are very concerned about this discontinuance decision, and as a body, we have decided to take the matter to the Council for Human and Social Development. I want to assure Jamaicans that the Ministry of Education and Youth is fully in support of the continuance of these 4 subjects.
Should CXC's decision stand, agricultural science, double award only, industrial technology, and mechanical engineering at the CSEC level would be among the subjects on the chopping block. Interestingly, the move to discontinue these subjects would coincide with a recent announcement by the Prime Minister declaring Jamaica a, quote, STEM island. Speaking with the CVM News Wednesday, the Education Minister criticized the decision of the Regional Exam Authority.
This announcement was made prematurely, was made public prematurely. CXC is always within its rights to look at its list of exams and to see how many students are taking them, to compare the cost of doing it to the number of students. But they must discuss with us.
CXC will convene a meeting with the regional education partners on June 4, ahead of the planned sit-down with CARICOM officials. The minister is hoping for compromise.
We think it's very solvable. All the ministers that are in this WhatsApp group, they've indicated that they want continuation of these programs. So I cannot see how CXC would not abide by what comes out of this meeting.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
More to come from CVM News at 7 after this break.
Heart in SDA Trust, Jamaica's human development agency.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Morris, and I'm the owner and managing director of Port-to-Port Logistics. I've been in this business for 30 years. It's really getting goods from one location to the other. Logistics is a male-dominated industry, and as a woman, I do face some amount of gender biases from time to time. However, because of the excellent service we deliver, we have been able to grow our business. Sagicor Bank has been very supportive over the years. I've utilized their credit cards and loan facility as they play a key role in expansion of my business. One of the most significant lessons that I've learned as a woman in business is that hard work and quality service bring success, regardless of your gender. Customer service is everything.
Friendly reminder.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of
elife.sagicorjamaica.com.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The government has unveiled a massive $24.8 billion Western Water Resilience Program to tackle the severe drought plaguing that section of the island. The Prime Minister announced the initiative in the House of Representatives a day ago. Here's more from Ronaldo Adams.
Countless CVM News reports have documented an old and worsening problem across the country. Take a look at this map from earlier this year. It shows the country's Standard Precipitation Index, SPI, or a simple measure of drought. The darkest shades of orange paint a dry picture. The areas most severely affected: St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. That's why in Parliament on Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced a nearly $25 billion Western Water Resilience Program. The project includes installing and replacing transmission mains from the Martha Bray Water Treatment Plant in Trelawney to St. James and from the Great River Water Treatment Plant in St. James to Negril in Westmoreland.
That is more than what we are spending on the municipal corridor component of the SPARK program, which is $20 billion island-wide. I want that to sink in to the consciousness of all Jamaicans.
Prime Minister Holness acknowledged the severe water shortage facing Negril residents, but cautioned that solving this issue won't be quick.
This nation-building investment was done in 1982. It has used up its useful life. The material that was used to build that pipe can no longer stand up. Much of it would have been calcified. And when it was laid, it was too small. They didn't think that we would have so many hotels coming. And so it is not merely a matter of just putting in a little pipe here and a little pump there. Massive investments have to be made in the infrastructure to deliver the water to the last mile of the user.
The program will be done through emergency procurement, which allows government agencies to timely purchase goods and services during times of crisis. Ronaldo Adams, CVM News.
And still on water, the government is seeking an international partner to tackle non-revenue water losses. Water Minister Matthew Samuda says a tender process is now open for the new 10-year plan. The initiative will build on the successes of a pilot program in Portmore and Kingston, where water losses have been slashed. More from Courtney Lewis.
Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, has announced plans to partner with an international entity for a 10-year project to significantly reduce the country's non-revenue water NRW losses. The project will focus on reducing water wastage and is expected to substantially benefit residents and businesses. The National Water Commission, NWC, has already seen success in its efforts to reduce non-revenue water losses in Portmore and Kingston, where leaks have been halved since 2015.
We have done a pilot project in Kingston and indeed in the soon-to-be parish of Portmore, and we have halved leaks in these two parishes. So non-revenue water, for instance, in Kingston would have been upwards of 70%.
This significant improvement sets the stage for similar efforts in other parts of the island, particularly Negril's West End, which faces severe water leakage problems.
The West End impact is still extreme, and that is largely because 1.2 kilometers of pipeline had all but collapsed. I want to assure residents in the area that work has actually started. Pipes were delivered on Monday, heavy equipment dispatched yesterday, and works commenced late yesterday evening and will pick up pace this morning. That work will take some 3 weeks.
With these improvements, Negril residents and business owners can expect an increase of over 1.2 million gallons of water daily. Courtney Lewis, CVM News.
To this update now, a ruling in Vybz Kartel's habeas corpus case is expected tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the Supreme Court. Judge Andrea Thomas will deliver the decision following the conclusion of arguments from both defense and prosecution on Wednesday. Kartel's lawyers, along with those representing two of his three co-accused, filed the habeas corpus application on May 14, citing undisclosed issues. Now, this move comes after the Privy Council quashed the 2011 murder convictions of Kartel and his co-accused on March 14, ordering the case back to Jamaica's appeal court to determine if a retrial is necessary for Kartel, Sean Storm, Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John.
Former National Security Minister Peter Bunting caused a stir last week at the 81st Annual Joint Central Conference of the Jamaica Police Federation when he took the stage to defend the embattled former chairman of the Federation. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has since denounced Bunting's actions. Here's more.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has expressed concerns over recent statements made by his opposition counterpart, Senator Peter Bunting, at the 81st Annual Joint Central Conference of the Jamaica Police Federation.
The elephant in the room is the interdiction of the former chairman of the Federation. Last year, the High Command launched an inexplicable offensive on the leadership of the Police Federation. Why? Why did they do that? For calling out the same High Command on their failure to effectively implement an order of the court regarding overtime for police officers.
Corporal Rohan James was removed as a chairman of the Federation last year after publicly denouncing the police high command and being relieved of his police duties. In a letter sent to opposition leader Mark Golding on Tuesday, Dr. Chang emphasized Jamaica's history of political interference in police operations and the importance of maintaining a clear separation between policy and police operational matters. Dr. Chang underscored that the JCF must remain insulated from political influence, particularly regarding disciplinary actions and human resource management, which fall exclusively under the Commissioner of Police and the Police High Command. He cautioned against political representatives advocating for specific officers in disciplinary matters, noting that such actions blur the lines between policy and political interference. The minister reminded Golding to uphold the established policy separating police operations from political influence, warning that political mobilization against the High Command could undermine the professionalism and integrity of the JCF. Dr. Chang urged the opposition leader to support the continuation of transparent, merit-based promotion systems within the police force and to ensure that the positive developments achieved are not compromised. Natalia Clark, CVM News.
Stay with us for the business segment coming up after this break.
This is Mark. He's saving to make sure that this one doesn't have to worry about student loans. This is Tevin. He's saving to make sure that next year he can live by his own rules. And this is Janelle. She's saving to make sure that the girls' trip to Greece makes it out of the group chat. They all have one thing in common. Their JN Bank savings. Saving little by little is what makes life affordable. Stop wishing you could. With your JN Bank savings, you absolutely can. JN Bank will help you find a way.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best. You are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome. That's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. The taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVM TV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Good evening, I'm Ramon Gordon. Welcome to the business segment. The business report begins in T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. As of May 27, 2024, investors who utilized the Jamaica Stock Exchange would have noticed a pair of profound changes to its operations. We'll start with the longer trading hours. The new trading hours are now from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Mondays to Fridays, facilitating an extension of trading hours from 3.5 to 5 hours, providing investors with more time to buy and sell securities on the stock market, which, according to Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, brings Jamaica in alignment with international standards and has the potential to realize significant benefits to the Jamaican market. Stockbroker Ryan Strawn provides additional context.
The thing with the expanded trading hours I expect to be particularly beneficial because, one, it takes Jamaica into the modern times. The U.S. market is open from 9 to 4, which is a period of 7 hours, and as such, more trades can be done. It also has impacts for the releasing of earnings reports. So whereas in Jamaica you could have an earnings report released at 1:30 or 2 o'clock, now it has to be after. In the US, actually, you have earnings calls happening after 3 p.m. if the market happens to close at 3, with daylight savings, or after 4 p.m. So all it is really is bringing the two markets, and the US being the dominant stock market globally, is bringing the JSE and the New York Stock Exchange / NASDAQ into alignment, which I think will augur well for how the JSE is perceived.
So that's fairly straightforward. Increased hours of operation, in theory, holds the potential to increase the convenience and volume of trade conducted on any given day.
With increased trading hours, deals can actually be struck at the start of business or before and be concluded by the close of business with this longer window. So generally speaking, I expect there to be an increase in activity, or in addition to the facilitation of activity and alignment with global trends. So on the surface, it could appear innocuous to the average person, but for us in the community, we welcome it because anything that means greater access is going to be beneficial in the end.
So there's that. But what exactly is a T+1 settlement cycle? And why is it a big deal? T+1 means transaction date plus 1 day, and as defined by the JSE, the T+1 settlement cycle means that your broker must settle your trades within 1 day of the transaction, when previously it was 2. The JSE describes the benefits of the shortening of the settlement cycle as enabling the quicker receipt of cash or securities for investors, a reduction of the Jamaica Central Securities Depository's credit and settlement risk, increased market liquidity, operational process improvements, as well as reduced foreign exchange risk in US dollar transactions.
This is significant for a few reasons. So firstly, the USA moved its settlement period to T+1 as well, but that was partly in response to the GameStop memes stock. I think AMC was another one, saga of 2021. The real benefits of the settlement period would be a more efficient usage of capital. One would be more unlikely or be less likely to have capital floating around in between the execution of a trade and the closure of it. So it will drive increased efficiency and usage of capital within the stock brokerage community and their bank accounts.
However, for Strawn, the major benefit is the harmonization it brings among major markets internationally.
On the surface, it could appear innocuous to the average person, but for us in the community, we welcome it because anything that means greater access is going to be beneficial in the end. And with Jamaica being T+1, the USA being T+1, we're once again aligned and on the cutting edge. Jamaica hasn't seen a meme stock explosion like a GameStop in recent times, or for the most part. I want to hope that is not the case here. But nevertheless, advanced markets and economies are still based on robust stock markets, and I think this is a big step in achieving that status.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.